She always IPLs or whatever, zaps the front parts off.
Yeah, I do.
I get nervous every time I come in there and see you with the laser machine. I'm like, oh, there go her brows.
And then it goes, I'm like, oh, Laura's going to be so mad at me. Welcome back to the AA Skin Babes Pod. I'm your host, Lena, licensed esthetician. And today I have Kristen.
Kristen Sanborn, licensed esthetician.
Heather
Taylor, nurse injector.
And we have a face finally back with us. We have Miss Laura.
Jan Brosick, and I'm a cosmetic tattooist.
And today we're going to get into some... it's been a minute since we talked about cosmetic injections and tattooing. We're going to kind of talk about things that are like affects your results. I think we've gone over the overview of what it is, but this time we're going to go a little bit more in depth on like what affects your results post your treatments. Today I want to start with cosmetic injections. So we're going to start off with Heather. Can medications and health conditions affect your results after your treatments?
Acne isn't just skin deep. It affects your confidence and how you show up every day. Having a pimple is really hard to go out and hang out with your friends. And if your acne is flaring up, it can also attribute to your self-confidence and your perception of yourself.
That's why at Amazingly Ageless Medspa, we have made our own acne boot camp. This is a results-driven program with medical-grade treatments like VI peels, AC Dual, and LED light therapy. With personalized skincare coaching, we can take you to the next level in your skincare journey because our clients see real transformations and we'd love to see you do the same.
Take the first step today. Call us, make an appointment, and let's get you set up on a program.
And start your journey to clear confident skin today. Heather, are there any medications and health conditions that can affect your results post-treatment?
Yes. So diabetes being a big one, just because healing with someone with diabetes, definitely your healing process is slowed down. Blood thinners affect bruising. The new GLP-1s are also linked in that too. I've definitely noticed people on the GLP-1s that the bruising, the swelling seems to be so much more extensive. Mm-hmm. Kristen and I kind of had to dive deep in this with a client that was like, no, there's not been anything new, nothing new, but yet her bruising was
a lot worse.
And I have treated her before. And after digging, we find out that, well, sure enough, she's on semaglutide. So,
do you know why that happens? Because since it's such a new thing.
I think it's such a new thing that it's, it is a diabetes medication ultimately. It's thinning the blood. Okay. It's definitely thinning the blood.
So it's a thinning the blood reason.
And some things like that, discontinue. If you can discontinue like 3 days before, or let us know. And if you let us know, sometimes, then we just expect that.
Well, I'm going to say because of like bruising, that is not really that big of a like issue. It just that way we can inform you.
Well, and so people who are on blood thinners, say they have a heart condition and they're on a daily blood thinner. I never instruct someone to quit their medication that's been prescribed by a doctor. I tell them to ask them for permission, but just know that these are your risks going into it. You are on a blood thinner. Your bruising is going to be more extensive. There are things that you can do to help that, like arnica.
Well, and that way they don't freak out.
Right.
Ice packs, that kind of thing. And just expect it. Then you don't want to do that, the day before you have a big event or something. Then you might want to plan, a couple days ahead so you can deal with the bruising. Mm-hmm. And I think also on this, some of the things that we're talking about today, the post is also going to apply towards some of the things that Lena and I do like IPL laser treatments, microneedling RF. And so, just kind of keep in mind that, some of the things that we're talking about applies to all the things that we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely in my world too, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And sometimes with me, even like with the diabetes or any autoimmune disease, sometimes disorders. The procedures with permanent cosmetics doesn't take as well. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it takes not a second, not the touch-up time, 6 weeks, maybe a third touch-up. And I found that over the last 12 years that I let people going into it know if you have autoimmune, it may be a longer process to get this to take. And other people it doesn't, but it happens a lot.
Well, and one thing too with the weight loss medications is it's also increasing your metabolism. So anytime that you're speeding up your metabolism, you're going to wear off the medication faster than if you weren't. So when someone's like, oh, well, my Botox is only lasting 2 months instead of 3 months, but now I'm on phentermine or semaglutide or something like that, that's increasing their metabolism, or they started working out 6 days a week. anything that's increasing your metabolism, heart rate, everything like that, you're going to burn through it faster. So you're not going to get the longevity with Botox or filler
I
or
never thought about
neurotoxins
that.
and filler.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely, because that's a metabolism. I've heard you say that before.
Yeah.
That it can metabolize faster, and some people naturally, and then you add something like that, could even be faster. So just an information that you tell them, this is what could happen.
Yeah.
Just so they know ahead of time.
So I didn't really think this next one through, which is timing and aftercare. Like getting injections too close to big events, or exercising soon after. That we kind of just covered that. But like with injections, I feel like that's like you don't have to time out as much. Or am I wrong on that? Or am I so far out?
So like if someone comes to me and I love getting a game plan. So if they come to me and they're like, I'm getting married in 3 months, what do I start with? I'm always like, let's get you on a good skincare regimen. If you're not on that, let's get you in with one of the girls to do facial analysis, all the things, and get your skin glowy. Let's get.
I guess I forget about you. Bruising happening.
Exactly.
So you want to plan around that.
Let's get you to where there's enough time to where I can treat you. It's set in, and we can do a follow-up or a touch-up if need be. And that bruising or swelling can be gone in time for this big event, wedding, class reunion.
With cosmetic tattooing, I think I finally jumped in and got my lips done last week.
And they look so good.
They do. But I think that I didn't realize is I had to think about the timing because they looked a little crazy. For about 3 days, those of you that saw me.
I did tell her this.
They looked crazy. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. I even kind of skipped out on some things that we were doing because I'm like,
like after you left the med spa.
After I left the med spa.
Your night life. Yeah.
Did I tell you originally she was like, oh, I think I might have went too dark. I said, Kristen, it is better for you to go dark because you always IPL your brows or you peel your brows. And so you need to go a shade darker because after you do it the first time, it'll be the perfect shade.
Yes.
Well, with cosmetic tattooing though, that first like 4 to 5 days, everything is like, here come my eyebrows, here come my lips, everything. And she was bright. And I said, I texted her, I'm like, hey, how crazy
I know she did. She did. She texted me the day before, and I'm like, oh, I can handle it. And after we got done, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have handled it that.
but she did good. But everything is settled down, and it's just been 1 week today. Tomorrow.
I mean, and I know Kristen, so I'm like, you have to go a shade or two darker because before your touch-up, you will either peel or IPL your brows or your lip liner.
She did.
On
I had
accident.
let me see how that goes. Let me see. Yeah, I can see one little spot I need to put in, but just one little hair right there on that front part a little bit. But she always IPLs or whatever zaps the front parts off.
Yeah, I do.
I get nervous every time I come in there and see you with the laser machine. I'm like, oh, there go her brows.
And then it goes, I'm like, oh, Laura's going to be so mad at me.
Well, I can put them right
did
back
her
in.
last peel, and it was before her touch-up. And I was like, I accidentally got it over her brows. I was like, oh, Laura's going to be so mad.
I can put them back in.
But Kristen, Mom's like, no, I'm doing a touch-up soon. I was like, okay, good. Because I just
really
definitely peeled your brows off.
I just spilt that all over myself.
Which means normally I can tell, but if you're coming in for a peel or an IPL, let me know if you have any cosmetic tattooing done.
Yes.
Because it will take the pigment.
And just being transparent. I mean, just being honest about the medications that you're taking. I don't care.
We don't care.
We don't care. I want to give you the
it's
best
so hidden.
results,
Because I don't care what medication you're on. I just need to know that what we're doing is safe for you.
Right. Yeah.
Or will work for you. In our cases, probably.
But I mean, most people don't think about it because they're like, oh, I'm doing beauty procedures. Like, what does it matter? Like, no, it really does matter.
It really does.
What you're taking, what you're doing, what you're using.
My medical form that I have to have through the state of Missouri does have list all these medications. Ask if they're diabetic. Ask all the medical questions.
Well, mine does too, but sometimes they just don't feel like it's necessary.
Yeah, because they think they're getting a beauty procedure.
So they just don't see a correlation and why that would be necessary.
It's not your business.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which for the first time, we had someone refuse to do an online form.
Yeah, they refused to do that. They did not want to send us their questionnaire form. And I'm like, I'm sorry, we can't do a treatment.
Oh, wow.
If you're not going to fill out the questionnaire and let me know medications, what you've done in the past, that kind of thing.
Did they print it out and brought it to you?
Nope.
They weren't going
to.
They weren't going to do it.
They would have done that, but we don't have a filing system.
Yeah.
All of our stuff is online. All of our files are online, which is also, we do not sell your information. No. Your information goes nowhere. It stays in our system, in your file.
But
if
some
anyone
of
is
that
worried
is
about
things
that.
that you don't think about. If you have oily skin, kind of answering the next question. If you have oily skin, if you have rosacea, if you have, different skin, skin types, that will affect the way that your treatment is going to take or how well it will take. And it will vary from person to person. I've done laser treatments on somebody that has really kind of drier skin, and it may not take as well as somebody that, or like an IPL treatment might not take as well as somebody that has a little more oily skin or more hydrated skin, because the water is going to attract that light, and it's going to help to disperse that pigment a little bit better than if you have super dry skin that doesn't have that that hydration in it. So I always say drink a lot of water before you come in. That way you have plenty of hydration in the skin to get the maximum benefit out of that IPL treatment.
Interesting.
I'd say for you guys, especially Laura, skin type's a big deal.
Yeah.
For
skin types. Oh, yeah. So the oilier skin, as I use, there's a machine, there's different hand tools to implant ink. And anybody who has very, very thick or very oily skin sometimes do better with a machine versus a hand tool.
Oh.
Yeah. And the thicker skin, too. A lot of black skin has a thicker, oilier texture, and I almost always have to pull the machine out. Like for me, my skin is drier, and it's thinner, and so I could use either or on me. But yeah, it does. But by the time when they come into me, that's not really something I would have them fill out. I just assess as soon as they get there, because it's not like all over. It's just like, okay, I do oily skin, dry skin.
Do you notice ink bleed, like your pigment bleeding at all with like different skin types? Like I know because like when I get tattoos, like where it tends to be kind of like where I really don't know where my skin type's at, but like I have tattoos that bleed more.
Oh, in
like
certain areas?
The ink like travels a little bit different.
So that's called migration, and that's not good. Yeah, that's improper depth.
Oh.
Yeah, on body tattooing or cosmetic tattooing. Yeah. And here's the thing. So there's carbon. It depends on the inks they're using. I don't tattoo with body ink, but in mine, I don't use carbon because it has a chance of migration. And so I just alleviated it all from my inks, and I use more of the vegan ink. I just realized
one of my tattoos was done totally incorrect then.
Well, if they do, and I've seen the girl, anybody that has tattoos, if there's going to be any kind of migration, it's usually the depth was too deep.
Oh, so that was why I was wondering if that ever happens on the face.
Either too deep. I shouldn't actually say just that, but it also could be overworked. If it's overworked, that's another. I've seen eyeliner. People come in and say, "Could you remove this?" It like eyeliner went here and then went up through the vein, and it was mostly being overworked.
So is that something that you can shade like to a skin tone or no?
No, and unfortunately, now it depends. Like I can do scar camouflage or vitiligo on dark skin.
Okay.
Our skin, we come in here, like I'm usually freezing, so I'm really white. I'm in here, I'm probably pink right now because I'm hot. Our skin changes color. So if I do someone when they're whatever skin tone in that room they are, because they're hot or they're cold or they're comfortable, I tattooed skin flesh tone. She goes outside and she gets a little bit of tan. What shows? The tattoo.
Yeah.
She gets red. What shows? The tattoo. So our skin is not all of us here. Our skin is not good to tattoo to cover up stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now on eyeliner, if a migration is teeny, then I'll kind of come out and do a little bit of a wedge and try to tie it in somehow. But I've had women on the lower old school 40 years ago, 30 years ago tattooing, and then migration's awful. And they're like, can you even this up? And it's like, I can't go thicker under there, And so there's a lot of times that's laser, which I do not do. And I always recommend medical laser. Just in case, because I don't know enough about it. And if you're working on the eyes and also some of the bases of our color, like she tends to turn very, her eyebrows kind of get a warm pigment to them. So like when we touched her up, I saw a little bit of that warmth and I added. So, but because she goes warm and I've added before, either I'll add a cooler tone or a warmer tone, depending upon the person's skin, what it's going to actually look like once that skin covers it. If they go to do a laser removal and it's been done with certain types of body ink, that laser pulls this out and then the base is red or the base is blue underneath. And I've seen it and I don't understand, I'm not going to pretend like I do, the whole laser process, but then that could be worse. I've had people go get their brows lasered because maybe they did them really black, really embedded, and there's nothing I can do. It's like I can't do anything with that. Yeah. So they'll go get them lasered, and they come back to me, and they're really light. Then I can fix that. You know, I can go over and just kind of play with it a little bit, make it look a little better. But
I can't even imagine how painful tattoo removal on the face would be, because I've had tattoo removal and it is probably the most painful thing I've ever been through.
I can imagine having to remove I've
had people ask me because we can't. our lasers can do that, but I won't. I will not do a laser because you'll deal with blisters and
I've had two children naturally, and that was the worst pain.
We're lucky enough we have a shop on the square that does tattoo removal.
Yeah, we do.
So we refer
the tattoo shop.
Street?
Yeah,
okay.
they do tattoo removal.
Okay.
Nice.
But I think another thing to kind of change the subject for on how your treatments are going to, especially your aesthetic treatments are going to end up is, estrogen. Is thinking about how our hormones are. I had 2 clients that we did a multi-treatment on. One, her treatment took 10 years off of her age. The other one did great but not quite the difference. And so when I started getting in and I made some phone calls and stuff, and I was like, well, what was the difference? And the first thing that I was asked is HRT. Are they on hormone replacement therapy? And I'm like, well, my first one was, but my second one was not. And they were like, the estrogen it's when your body is depleted of estrogen, then your estrogen regulates your skin. It regulates how your healing process and so many different factors. That if you don't have the estrogen, there's no many amount of treatments that you can do, your skin just isn't going to have that type of youthful recovery. And
so if you're on hormone replacement,
if you're on hormone replacement therapy, you're going to have so much better outcomes on your aesthetic treatments. And so that was kind of a big one. And I think the other one that I want to touch real quick because we're kind of getting low on time is smoking.
Yes.
I don't think our clients realize what a huge difference smoking can make in your treatments.
Smoking in the sun, I say the 2 things that age your skin and
the most.
The texture and laxity and everything of your skin the most. Ugh.
Yeah.
So all these things are going to contribute to your overall outcome of either facial, aesthetics, tattooing, injections. It's all going to affect it. So you need to make sure you're telling us what you're doing, lifestyle, because we do have lifestyle questions on our intake form because we want to know, like, if we're going to be working towards this, are you laying in a tanning bed every week or whatever? Or are you smoking a pack a day or something? That way we can help you have realistic expectations of your appointments. And I know the same goes for you.
Smoking, just with the pursing motion of smoking, cigarettes, vapes, whatever, that is going to affect the way that the lip filler settles too.
Also straws.
And straws. That's a big, yes.
It migrated her lip filler.
So I have to go through all of these things with everyone.
Because vascular dilation, whenever your skin isn't getting that blood flow, which when you're smoking, your skin's not going to get as much blood flow, then you don't have that opportunity to heal quite as much.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I tell my clients, think about it.
And not just that, but we have treatments that are trying to stimulate that. If you are cutting off that blood circulation, it's not going to stimulate.
And think about it. Whenever you eat bad food for you, it's going to go right through your digestive system. When you are smoking, it's going into your lungs. So all those carcinogens, how is it getting out? Well, it's being expelled through your skin. That's why when you see a smoker, a lot of times they'll have a yellow tint to their skin. Well, that's the carcinogens coming out of the skin. Well, we can't get rid of that forever if you're going to continue to do what's causing that to happen. And I can almost look at a client, especially a skin client, whenever we're getting ready to do microneedling or something like that, and by the color of their skin and what's layered on top of their skin, if they're a smoker or not. If they're a smoker, it's just like you're not going to get the results that you would if you weren't smoking.
Are smokers' skin thicker or rougher or no?
It's kind of rougher, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is when we do hydrofacials, you're pulling those toxins out with the suction, and you get almost a yellow tint in the gunky jar.
And when we do radiofrequency skin tightening, what that radiofrequency doing, it's pulling that out of the skin. And somebody that does a lot of smoking, you smell like you just walked into an ashtray.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's pulling all of that out of the skin. And so
if you think smoking's not doing anything to your skin, do these treatments and you'll realize it is on the skin, it's in the skin.
Well,
and that's really making a difference.
The acne too, especially with the younger crowd, that it's not hormonal. You can tell that it's not just hormonal. You can tell the difference. And these are questions to be asking them. Your body is a machine. You're going to get out of it what you're putting into it. So what types of toxins are you putting into your body? Yeah. And that's what your skin is going to reflect. So.
All right. Well, is there anything you guys want to add? I know we're out of time, but I want to go over contraindications really fast just because we haven't covered this in a long time. So, like, I think it's all around the same for all of us.
Same for all three of us.
You need to let us know if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding.
Absolutely.
If you have active cold sores or if you are prone to cold sores.
Yes.
We need to know that. Blood clotting disorders, autoimmune, we already went over that a little bit. With some of what we do, if you have metal, like, we need to know, you may not think about like crowns or something like that. If you're doing like radio frequency with us, we have got to know that.
And for filler, I tell people no dental work 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense.
Because you're going, especially cheek filler, you're going down to the bone.
You're right.
How much is this correlated? That's, your cheekbone is connected to your jawbone and mandible and that whole area. So it just increases risk of infection and healing.
And that's something I definitely would not have thought about. Allergies to not only like lidocaine or
benzocaine.
Yes, but for us, if you're allergic to aspirin,
yeah,
we have got to know that, especially if you're doing acne or anything like that. We have got to know. Like there's a lot of things that no one thinks about that we need to know.
Yeah,
we are maybe doing beauty treatments, but like as estheticians, I need to know food allergies. Like if you have a fish allergy or any fruits
that we use that have fish. Fish, what is that? That one, the salmon
DNA.
Salmon DNA.
Like nickel, lead,
yeah.
tattooing.
And I'm allergic to shellfish, and so I can't even put that serum on you.
Oh.
And like we use enzymes with like coconut enzymes. Like I have almost put a coconut mask on someone who is allergic to coconut. So like when you're filling out your intake forms, there's things that maybe you don't think about because this is a beauty procedure. Like this is a beauty thing. Why would I tell you my food allergies? I need to know that. Anything I'm missing, Accutane, like medications, all of that.
Yeah, especially like cosmetic tattooing. I would say blood thinners.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one for me, yeah. But the thing is, I use Epi, and so that's one of the things I have to ask them if they're allergic to that. Because I did have a lady that had never had a surgery. When you go into a surgery, they're going to load you with all this stuff so you don't bleed. Well, she didn't say that she never had a surgery before, so I tattooed her something, eyeliner, eyebrows. Well, the next day she came into work, and her eyes were, it was her eyes. So they were like a ring of red around them. And she came in, and I was like, what in the world? She says, I just went down to the urgent care or whatever, because I didn't know what kind of reaction I was having, and they, process of their elimination in the medical field, said that she had a reaction to Epi, and they said it's kind of good you found it with such a 1% of Epi for eyeliner, because if you end up in a surgery, so so for her that was good. But that is another thing I make sure that I have that on that list too, is are you allergic to that, just in case. Because even though I use 1%, she still had a ring of red, and they just told her to take Benadryl, so it was no big deal. But she said, so I have to put that for the rest of her life now. When she has a surgery, I'm allergic to this, because they put a lot of that in there,
Wow.
surgery.
I wouldn't have even thought that happened.
No, I didn't either. She came in, I said, why are her eyes that red?
What is going on?
I didn't do it. But that's what it was. So yeah, I have to ask the question for allergic reaction for sure.
Wow.
I guess the gist of this is just be honest on your intake forms.
Be honest. Be honest.
And because if you're honest with us, then we can help give you, because there's things that'll contribute to your aftercare and like how your results happen, and that way we can give you what's the word?
The best results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best results.
Outcome.
Yeah.
Realistic
There you go. Yeah.
Realistic expectations for your procedures. All right. Well, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me.
Sure.
Thank you.
And we will talk to you guys next time. Bye.